So here's how you can create your first profitable e-commerce dropshipping store. This is lesson 5 out of our 10 episode course, and how you can use conversion rate hacking using AI to increase the number of sales that you're making. Now, I've split this course up into multiple videos. You can go ahead and choose whichever one you want to watch first. In this video, I want to talk to you about infrastructure and making sure the business is set up correctly. In the last episode, we built our store, and now what we want to do is be able to make sure that when somebody comes through and purchases from our store, we have the proper customer support and fulfillment systems and everything set up in a way that's going to retain those customers. We're going to keep happy customers. We're not going to run into any difficulties with disputes. We're not going to lose money. I'm going to show you how to hire people. I'm not going to do domains because I actually went through domains in the last video. So this is more of a long-term success. So customer support setup. Why do we actually need it? In one of the earlier videos, I showed this screenshot of somebody else's store where they did $37,000 in 1 month. And that seems like a lot of revenue, but that's not the full picture because this store only lasted 1 month and it died quicker than it grew. And the reason this happens is because the business is set up badly. And what ends up happening is the principles that people follow when they start an e-commerce business is they go into it rushed and they try and build it as quickly as possible and start generating income. And the problem that most people don't realize is if you don't support the customers that come through your business and you don't provide the service that they've paid for, that business will come crashing down. And the reason it comes crashing down is because those customers will do things like dispute the payments. So if you don't realize what disputes are, I don't know what disputes are. Essentially what happens is somebody buys a product from your store, they pay a certain amount for that product. Then if that product doesn't arrive or the customer experience is bad and they can't get a refund, or maybe it takes forever for the product to arrive, which is fairly typical with dropshipping, what they will then do is call up their bank and say, this payment was fraudulent, they took money from my account but never gave me the product, or, I never made this payment. Now, what can happen here is if you A, ignore the disputes, or B, you lose the disputes, you will lose the money that they paid will be refunded. And then the money that you get for that order, so the order has been refunded, but then also the cost of that product will also be still a negative cost for you because you still shipped that product. But on top of that, you will receive a $15 fine. So for every single order that gets disputed, you basically lose anywhere between, if we're selling a product for $50 and the product cost is $15 or $20, and then we get a $15 dispute on that, we are losing about $85 per customer that disputes. So that is basically what causes the business to come crashing down. And the reason a lot of these disputes happen is because people who start in e-commerce and start drop shipping don't bother with setting up customer service. I mean, it makes sense because it's just a boring thing to do and you haven't got any customers yet. So there's no point in having somebody to do customer service. But what happens is as orders start to come in, you will start receiving emails to your support page. And your support page will typically just either send those emails to you directly or people will just email your company directly. And then what happens is you either have to hire somebody to deal with these customer emails or you have to deal with them yourself. And if you're scaling quickly, more often than not, you're not going to want to spend the time emailing customers. So you tend to ignore those customers. If you hire someone, it can easily take a week, 2 weeks before that person's fully trained up and working in your business. By which point you could have 50, 100, 200, 300 customers leaving emails and complaints trying to work out where their orders are. And here's what happens, right? So imagine somebody's ordered from your store. They spend $50 on a product. You ship that product out, they receive tracking information. Then 3 or 4 days later, they haven't received any updates about that order and they're wondering where it is. At this point in time, you want to just update them and say the order has been shipped, this is the progress, this is where it is, this is when you can expect to receive it. But if you haven't got that set up, then they're going to email you and ask. If you don't respond to that email, then they're going to get more and more agitated. And then what happens is over time, each customer sends multiple emails and then has built a case against you saying that they have tried to contact you multiple times and have not yet received the product, and also the customer service quality is bad. This can do multiple things. The first thing is it ruins the reputation of your business. People will share this information on social media, they will share reviews about the product, they will leave reviews, they will write reviews over the internet. And if somebody goes and searches for your business and they see this information, they're never going to purchase from you because they know they're going to get exactly the same experience. The second thing it does, if you're using Facebook or TikTok ads or Google ads or any paid advertising platform, you are going to receive a bad reputation with that advertiser. A lot of the time, these advertising channels will actually send a review questionnaire to people who have seen, clicked on an ad, and then purchased from your store. And what happens is these people who have received a bad experience will vote negatively against your business, and this leaves a feedback score. And the feedback score, if it's below a certain threshold, and the calculation is done separately by Facebook and TikTok and Google, if it falls below a certain threshold, they can revoke your advertising access, which means you no longer can bring traffic to your store. You lose your advertising account. All of the advertising data that you've built up until then is lost, and you've basically just lost a load of money and a load of customers because of this. So here's what you need to do. When you're starting out, you need a solution that's going to allow you to scale your customer support in a way that doesn't cost you a lot of money and also can be done very, very quickly and ideally automated. Because worst case situation, you can also lose your Stripe account. And if you don't know what that means, if you're using Shopify payments, you can also lose your Shopify payments account. So basically, if you get greater than a 1% dispute rate, then your Shopify payments and your subscriptions or your Stripe payments will be completely shut down. So you only need one customer out of 100 customers to dispute a payment, and then you can lose your Stripe account. So you need to make sure that you're nurturing these customers and giving them a good experience, because if you lose your Stripe account, they're going to hold all of the money that's being processed through that Stripe account. Then they're going to actually ask for that money to be held so they can then refund customers if they need to. You won't receive that money, and then you'll be put on a blacklist, which means you're no longer going to be able to use Stripe. So how can we get around this issue? Well, that's where I come in with ChatIQ. So I built this software designed specifically to help with this problem. And essentially, this is how it works. If we've got a website and a customer comes onto the website and they have a question about their order, you can ask that chatbot and it will then give you the information, or give you the contact information, and it can give instant replies to customers. And it can deal with most of the problems that customers have. It can also recommend products. But it also goes through a process of triaging, which basically means if it can't deal with complex requests, or if a customer comes through and they ask a simple question, it will just respond with a chat reply. And 80% of the conversations that happen through chatbots are very, very simple. And it will basically use your company data and all of the information about your products, your refund policies, your shipping policies, all of this information. It can give people tracking links. It can give all of that as a chat reply. But if there's a complex problem, for example, somebody wants a refund, it will prioritize that, and it will basically decide that you need to talk to a human. So it will give you a response as a chat reply, but it will also then offer human handoff, and it will allow that person to talk to a human support rep. And the way this works is you have an AI brain which is able to read all the information on your website, and then that customer can go ahead and submit a support ticket. So to show you what this looks like, if we come onto this example website which I've been building, we visit this site. I have created down here in the corner a branded chatbot, so it's got the logo and everything. If I come onto this and I ask the chatbot how to track my order, it's going to read all the information on my website. So at the top here, I actually have a tracking link. Sorry, I had the wrong one on the website. So this is what it looks like branded for the Mon Happy store. I can come onto that chatbot and I can say, for example, track my order. Now, because I've got a tracking link on my website, it can read that information. So if I go to that page on my site, I actually have a place for them to put in their order number and their email, or they can put in their tracking number, and they can get information on where their product is. So you can see here, it's actually responded and it said to track your order, you can visit the order tracking page. So now a customer who has a problem and wants to get information on their order can just talk to the chatbot, and it can give them the information straight up. So usually they would have to go ahead and email your company directly, and then your company would have to employ someone to go ahead, find this information and send this information back to them. If somebody then clicks that link, it will take them to that page. So it works natively on your website. If I were to ask, for example, what are shipping times, it's going to give me all the information on the shipping times, Monday to Friday, 7 to 10 days. If you've got any order cut-off time, it's 5 p.m. If they want to get into contact with humans, they can go ahead and submit. They can go ahead and email us here. Now, what it will also do is if I say, for example, so I've just asked it here, I want a refund, and it said, let's help get this sorted out for you. I'm unable to process refunds. However, if you click the button below and submit a support ticket, including your order number and any important details, I'll prioritize your request and get a human reps to reach out to you via email. So now a customer can actually basically just send that information through in a support ticket, and then you as a business are able to deal with those support tickets, categorize those support tickets, and prioritize those support tickets so you know what to work on. So, for example, if this person's got a question with their order, they can submit that information through that chatbot on your website. And then as a business, you can come into your ChatIQ portal, and this is what it looks like. This is the chatbot that's on the website. I can come into the ticketing section and I can visit the specific chatbot that's on my website, and I can see here that somebody has submitted a couple of tickets, and this is demo data to give you an example of what this looks like. They've asked, where is my order? I haven't received it in weeks. And these are tickets that I've now closed. But as a business, you can deal with these tickets. But here's the really cool thing, because when you're getting started out, you don't want to spend a lot of time dealing with these customer questions. You don't want to spend a lot of time having to always respond to emails. So ChatIQ actually automates this process for you. So if we just reopen one of these tickets, we'll just reopen this ticket here and we reply to this ticket, it's going to actually allow us to generate an AI response. So if this person said, where is my order? I haven't received it in weeks. We're going to say to this chatbot, please give the tracking link to the customer and let them know they need to give us their order number to check their order's status. We can then send this prompt to the AI of ChatIQ and it can go ahead and generate an email response. So hang on, let me just do this again because I've just done this. So actually, just quickly, you can see here it's now loaded the chat history that somebody's had a conversation with the chatbot, so we can see that. Okay, so let me just try this again. Please give the tracking link to the customer, and it's gone ahead and it's created that email for us. Now, because this AI is using the same information that the chatbot is trained on our website, so for example, if we say to the chatbot on the website, track my order, the way it's able to get this information is by reading all the information on our website, and it's able to collect this link here. The chatbot on ChatIQ can also go ahead and collect the same link as well, and it's given us the order tracking link. So if we want, we can go ahead and we can update and change these links, and sometimes if you want to make sure that the AI has got more information, you can update the information that the chatbot has access to. But let's say, for example, we're happy with this email. All we then need to do is put in our customer support name, and then we can actually send this email using SendGrid. So SendGrid is a really cool way to basically allow us to automate sending these emails. So if we come to the integration section, we can actually set up a SendGrid account. So I have a SendGrid account for my software, and it will now allow me to send an email from my support email account, and then I don't need to do anything else. Once I'm done with that, I can come back into here and I can close that support ticket. So now that support ticket's being closed, I can read the information about that customer. So all of the tickets from this one customer are in one place. And you can see just how quick and easy it is to deal with that customer support ticket. Obviously, if I needed to spend more time crafting out a response and do a to and fro with that customer, I'd then move over to Gmail to obviously continue that conversation. But that is how we're automating customer service within ChatIQ. And the really cool thing about this over here is we can also send it out directly through Gmail. It's given us the entire breakdown of that email conversation, but we end up building a life cycle. And this is basically what ChatIQ can do, because not only can it respond to emails, not only can it, let me just refresh this, right? Not only can it give information for customer support, but it can also, it can also collect emails from the customer. So if I say, for example, let's go on to it, say track my order, then it can also collect emails. Those emails that come through can be sent over. We can integrate those into our email marketing, which means we can then retarget people through SendGrid. We can create campaigns. You can also upload these into Klaviyo and all your other email marketing tools. You can then remarket to these people, do campaigns to these people, which brings in more customers and more revenue for your business, which then increases your conversion, so your returning customer rate. It also allows people on your website to understand and exactly find out what products they want to buy. For example, if I were to ask the chatbot a question, if I say, tell me about the Halloween string lights, which are these lights on the page, and all the Halloween different products, you can see here it says the Halloween pumpkin string lights, blah, blah, blah. It's giving me some information about that product. I can then ask it, for example, how many can I buy? And the chatbot can then tell me how many of that product that I can actually purchase. If I then decide that I then want to go ahead and purchase multiple products, I want to buy 10 string lights and 2 haunted ghosts, which are these products, it can actually build the cart for me. I can then click on this button here, and then it can take me to the checkout page of my store, already pre-filling the cart with the pumpkin string lights and the Halloween products. So the AI is able to basically recommend products to customers and have a full conversation with them, answering any questions that they've got. It can also build carts for them. And all of this can be done if you want to get set up using this software. You can basically just book a call with me somewhere around this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, down below the top link in the description, you can get on a demo call with me and I can answer any questions that you've got. We as a company will set it up for you. We'll train it. We'll integrate it into your business. We'll monitor it and make sure it works perfectly for you. We'll tailor it and brand it out for your business. And we have got thousands of customers. We've got thousands of people using this software. You can actually have a look, just take a second to have a look at some of these testimonials. This guy, for example, has done $42,000 per month using AI recommendations from our product. This guy's doing $50,000 a month handling AI recommendations, product recommendations using our product. But obviously, it's going to increase the revenue that you generate in your business, and it's also going to allow beginners in dropshipping to get started with customer support without having to hire anybody, and it's going to reduce the amount of time that you spend. And also, if we come into the ticketing section, we can see high priority tickets and we can see the category of those tickets. So we can tell what are the biggest problems in our business, and then we can work on improving those problems. We can see the message history that people have been having with our chatbots. So then we can take that information and see what needs to be added to the website. If people have got specific questions, we can use that information to increase the conversion rates on our website. So there's a whole host of different things that we can do with using Chat IQ. So that is basically how we should set up customer support right at the start in our business. It's the cheapest and quickest way, and it also allows us to reduce the hires. We no longer need to hire a VA to organize our customer support. The only other hire that you would need to make would be having some fulfillment system set up, and I showed you how to do that in the previous video. And this allows us to see long-term consistent success. And if you're curious as to how that happens, basically when a customer comes through and they receive a good level of support, they're much more likely to return. So in this diagram, I've basically explained a situation where somebody's come through and they've been recommended a product which they've then purchased. Once they've purchased that product, if they've got any questions that they need help with, they need to reach customer support, they can do so through the Chat IQ portal. It will then prioritize that support ticket. You as a business owner can be notified. If you come to the ticketing section, you can actually receive notifications on the support tickets that have come through, so you will know instantly when a support ticket's come through. And then what you can do is, once that support ticket's been dealt with and responded to and sent via SendGrid to that customer, it's going to give that customer a good experience. If that customer's had a good experience, they're much more likely to return. This workflow here is for a store that I work with a client where they're doing $35,000 a month and they're getting a 65% returning customer rate. But the really important thing to note here is that graph that I showed you at the beginning of that 1 month store that did $38,000 did it in an exact 1 month period. This store has done exactly the same 1 month period, exactly the same amount of revenue, but it's a consistent amount of revenue. It's not a spike and drop graph, which means that the next month is going to make another $35,000. And as building a business, that is exactly what we want to do. So if you're interested in getting set up, like I say, the link to get on a demo call with me for Chat IQ is down below this video. But I hope this video gave you a little bit more information about how to properly set up your business in a way that allows you to automate customer support, increase conversion rates for your brand new dropshipping store. But I will see you guys in the next lesson.